Now we, long as we all here on equal ground, we fine. But once one person get ahead, then they gonna try to find everything against Jessica. That's why this lesson was so easy to me because I just experienced everything in this lesson within the last couple of weeks. So King Darius said, 120 prince, which should be over the whole kingdom. Then I will talk about it. Daniel was a man with an excellent spirit in him. Because of his excellent spirit, the king thought to make him over and reign over everybody. Um, the other presidents, of course, they did not want that to happen. So they tried to find fault in Daniel. Why we should find fault in Daniel in this is because they wanted to see praying. He was praying. He was doing something. That's why they went to Darius and said, hey, come on, we got to write this down. We got to come up with something so we can find fault in Daniel. So they came up with a decree. Well, Darius came up with a decree that you know, when you put it on pen and paper, go together, you can't come back out for it. So that's what Darius did. And the other two presidents, they found fault because they caught him praying 3 times a day. As a me, I don't care to get caught praying. If that's hey, that's why we need to take it to our job. Take prayer everywhere you go because you would need it all day long. It wasn't that Daniel had to pray 3 times a day. It never was written. You have to pray 3 times a day. Daniel just had that relationship with God, and that's why he did that. That's our only way of our communication with God is to pray. And so at this time, Daniel was like, hey, I don't care. I'm going to still do it. Anybody have anything to say on this verse 10? Fight. That's one all day. Mm-mm. For good. Bad. Priorities. See, day with prayer. Miss Tanisha, then Miss Regina. Yes. Mm, God. God, I die. God. Miss Regina. Perfect. Yes. And come. Mhm. Me. Yeah. Prayer life. Yes. And Daniel, what Sister Goo was saying, he didn't compromise what he knew to do. And what Daniel was doing is, oh, Deacon Jerry.
I want to say it was custom for the Jews to pray 3 times a day.
Mhm.
Jealousy in this message was the opponent.
Yes, envious.
He was president, first president,
Mm.
and the other two presidents were jealous. Jealousy was the thing in the lesson, and because the king relationship with Daniel, Daniel was willing to give a price or to pay a price for serving God.
But,
Are you willing to pay a price for serving God? We talk a good game.
mm.
Times of
In times of trouble.
yeah, people quit coming to church when things don't go their way. They quit. They back out of different things. I ain't gonna sing in the choir no more. Huh? I ain't gonna usher no more. Come on. See, when things come on us that we are not in control over, then we quit. But Daniel had an excellent spirit. The Bible says so. He had that spirit that no matter what, he was going to stay with God.
God.
No matter what happens to him, he was going to stay with the Lord.
Look,
And that's the type of spirit that we have to have. No matter what's going to happen, we're going to stay with the Lord. I said on Wednesday night, we don't mind going to heaven.
Want to die. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't mind getting there, but we don't want to die to get there. Because see, when you die to get there, you're gonna have to, you got to pay for all them things that you don't think you ain't gonna pay for on this side. We ain't perfect, huh? But we
No.
striving for perfection.
Yes,
And
we
I tell
strive.
you, every day you're gonna have to have some prayer in your life. If you ain't praying, something wrong. If you ain't got a prayer life, something wrong.
Something wrong.
Something is wrong with you because you don't have a prayer life, and you got to have communication with the God that you say you serve.
Would you serve?
Mhm. Yeah.
Miss T. Mm-hmm.
Connection. That's right.
No. That,
Mm. Yeah.
prayer
Prayer
life.
life. Yeah. Your communication with the Lord.
It's just supplications. And I thought about a song that we sing, Sending Up the Temple. And that's what this is. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
And when we praying, that's all we're doing. We just sending up the temple. Anybody else have anything to say? Okay.
One thing in reading the lesson, I realized this: power can be destructive of many things. You take that in today's society. It happened back then. It's going on now,
Yeah.
and it's all about when you in a power position. You know, the best thing for you to do when you're in a power position is to humble yourself
That's right.
and watch things work in your favor, because you can't point and point and point and expect to get good results and stuff like that. That's what happened to the boy. Not only that, King Darius heard about the three boys in the burning furnace.
Hmm.
So see, he already knew about
He,
that. So he know he was gonna serve worship Daniel God, because he just seen the evidence prior to Daniel going into the land.
lion dens, and even with him going in the lion den and coming out, what caused Daniel to go into the lion's den is what caused him to come out the lion den too. That's and if we notice how everything, if we take prayer into something and take prayer out, we coming out. And then we even better than we went in. You get you out of trouble. You want to say something, Sister Lofton? Oh, oh, okay. I'm sorry. And okay, Sister.
Like you say in prayer, I think that's a lot of the problems with the schools now, because they took prayer out of school.
And just imagine us if you went a day. Now they was talking about 30 days praying to Darius. That's the only thing. Just imagine 30 seconds without prayer. You ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. So just imagine, how can someone tell you 30 days you can't pray? I got to pray to Pastor Johnson and Pastor Johnson only. And then we have to watch when we come into a position, we have to watch what people bring to us. Because these two presidents brought something that should have been them saying, man, I'm so glad to have Daniel on board with us. We got a praying. Because when we know that in a home, if one person is praying, the whole house gonna get blessed. That's they was trying to find fault of him, and nothing else they can find fault in you. I could wear the wrong uniform to work. Oh, that's okay. But if I get caught praying, I got a problem then. Y'all told me what uniform to wear, and I chose to wear the different one. But now, if I get caught praying, and I don't mind getting caught praying at work, I don't, because I need it. I need it. Going in, I need it. Every day, getting up, just like Sister Goose said, just brushing your teeth. We need it. We cannot go a day, 30 seconds without it.
I remember, Sister Johnson, I remember one time Deacon Jerry said that up there when he was teaching Sunday school. Matter of fact, I made a video of it. He said that how when he used to work and he used to be at his job, long as they had a problem with him reading his Bible. And he said, but he said it wasn't a problem long as they sat there and read their books, Ebony and whatever, read. They didn't have a problem with that. But when he pulled out his Bible to read it, they had a problem with it. And his faith was tested, and he had to be vocal, like Daniel was. Deacon Jerry said, if y'all can read what y'all read,
Read.
surely I can read my Bible and I can pray. So we have to be reminded of that. You know, you don't see Daniel in an argument with them, but he continued what he doing. And you all said it best. So many times we will stop, but we got to continue and know that God is on our side.
And that's so, Minister William.
Well, he didn't compromise.
He said,
He knew where his help and his strength came from. He knew prayer was his supplication. So that's why he prayed those 3 days, 3 times a day. It wasn't a matter of the other people, but Daniel was going to stand on the word regardless.
Word. this.
Daniel didn't, he didn't see that by him going into the lion's den. And then again, if he saw that, he didn't care
No.
because he knew God was going to be with him. And that's what we have to do. When we go through trials and tribulation, we still have to stand on the word. Because the word gonna set us free.
Free. And that's what Daniel had knew about the decree. He knew, but he was not willing to change who he knew and what he knew. He was gonna just do it because he knew once he got in that den what he was gonna need to survive.
You know, long story short, um, when I played, when I crossed over, they did some worldly things, and they knew I was a preacher, so they respected me for that. So they didn't come up to me with the alcohol or anything like that. They did that by themselves because the thing of this, I knew who I am. So therefore, I didn't have to go out there and participate in their worldly events because I was still standing on my word. Y'all go ahead and have fun, but I can't participate in that. So that's what we have to do. When it gets rough, we still have to stand. We have to stand regardless. So trials and tribulations
Gonna come.
they gonna come up.
And that's what it is about growth, AG. And then verse 16 is then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the dens. Now the king spoke, and so said unto Daniel, thy God whom thou serve continually, he will deliver thee. Even Darius knew, I think it was said that he knew. He knew because he had already seen what he had did to the boys in the fire furnace. He brought them out not even smelling like they had even been in a furnace. So he knew, and he knew that, Daniel, you're going to be okay in this den. But just like Tanisha had said, sometimes we get a little, Darius stayed up all night because even that's a conviction. He knew that what he had allowed his other two presidents to do caused him to be convicted. And it's okay to be convicted because you know what? It's corrections in being convicted. And that's what he did. He was corrected in it because he stayed up all night. Y'all know if you do something wrong and you know it ain't of God, you can't sleep. People be saying, oh, I slept good. No, you didn't. We toss and we turn. And that's why on a daily basis we have to ask God to guide us, lead us into whatever we're about to come up against us. Make sure I say the right thing. Even when Daniel could have said, nope, that's not me. But he didn't. So while the king was there to figure a way to save Daniel, the men was gathering. Don't you know, when they done did something wrong, they ain't going to come around. They're going to stand over there and watch it unfold. But do we see it did not unfold the way they thought it was going to unfold? Darius had to do what's right. And that's the thing, too. If I'm the manager at the cafeteria and I get close to one person, the other one's going to be mad. And that's what happened with Darius and Daniel. They already had that bond. I could see Darius wondering, how can this man, in spite of finna go down in this den with these lions, gonna pray and still stand fast? Don't you think he would say, well, come on, Daniel, come on, pray to me so we can make it right, to make them look like it was right to do. But Daniel did not do that. Then in verse 19, then the king arose early in the morning and went in haste. And we know what haste means. He was in a hurry to see what done happened. What done happened. And then 20, it says, and when he came to the den, he cried with a lamented voice unto Daniel, the king, and spoke and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou serve, continually able to deliver thee from the lions? He already knew. We think about never. Didn't we put 3 of them in there? And so now here's Darius in the same position. But he knew that Daniel was gone. And look how that Daniel, the God sent an angel to close the mouth of them. Now normally they don't let the lions eat all day so they can be hungry and stuff. Daniel ended up, just imagine, they were laying on, he was sleeping on them and everything. They became a family and friends. Now here's the thing about your other 2 people. We have to know that when we do wrong, how a lot more people can be involved, and they didn't even know. Because when the other 2 presidents had to get down in the den, guess what? They family had to go. Why I have to go? I ain't did nothing. So why me? And then they was being eaten as they was just going down and just eating. So now that hunger, appetite they had for Daniel, now we got it for the other 2 presidents and along with their friends. Anybody else have anything to say? I told you, dog, this lesson was good. So I wrote a little thing for it. There are many lessons we can learn from the life of Daniel that goes far beyond him being thrown into the lion den. He was faithful servant of God who didn't waver or compromise. When hardship arose, he put God first and foremost in his life, and he was blessed for it. We can apply many of Daniel's principles to our lives today. Next time you hear the name Daniel, I encourage you to reflect on his continuous example of faithful servitude towards God rather than just to picture a guy sitting with lions. Thank y'all.
Good morning to our superintendent, to all of our teachers, to Jessica did a wonderful job with this lesson, a very familiar lesson that we've had. I want to share this with you. I had the opportunity to, awesome opportunity to be with our young people today, and I was giving them an object lesson as it relates to faith and trouble. So I want everybody to do this real quickly. Everybody just stand up. Sit down. Now, you see how simple that was? Listen, you had confidence to know that once you sat down, I told the kids, I ain't see nobody checking that chair, that bench to see if it was going to hold you up. We had confidence and faith that that bench was going to hold all this weight. And so, okay, some of y'all was sitting on 2 and 3 deep on the same bench, and it still held you up. It win somebody. But listen, that's just the kind of faith that Daniel had, even in the midst of trouble. And I told the kids today that in this life, if the Lord blesses you to see some of our ages, you're going to encounter some trouble. It could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, but rest assured, you ain't got to go looking for it. It know how to track you down, and that's exactly what happened. This dude was doing everything right, but in spite of that, he still had to go to the lion's den. The 3 Hebrew boys were doing everything right, but in spite of it, they still had to go to the fiery furnace. But the shout in the text is he was confident to know that I'm going to go to this lion's den, but I'm confident that God going to let me sleep in the midst of hungry lions. And I'm looking at some folk right now, y'all, that know you done been to bed with some lions. When the report came out the next morning, say, you still there? You say, I'm still here. Why? Because God sent an angel. Amen. God bless you and God keep you is our prayer.
Good morning, Midway. Midway Missionary Baptist Church, 9553 Ninth Road, Theodore, Alabama, 36582. February 8th, Sunday, Combined Sunday School Report. February 18, 2024, Sunday School opened at 9 o'clock by Deacon Michael Crusoe after singing Jesus on the Main Line. Prayer was offered by Deacon Michael Crusoe. Lesson today was Facing Great Danger. Sunday school devoted 30 minutes to study the lesson by class, which is followed. Adult talk by Sister Jessica Rice and Present 23, visiting on offering $62. Youth and the baby class taught by Reverend Alexander Zach Johnson, Present 7, of visiting on offering $15. Scholar present was 23. Visit present none. Total present is 30. Total offering is $77. Sunday school address by Sister Jessica Wright and review given by Sister Jessica Wright and remarks by Reverend Johnson. Sister Mildred Dixon, Sunday School Secretary, Shalisha Dixon, Sunday School Assistant Secretary, Deacon Michael Crusoe, Sunday School Superintendent, and Reverend Alexander Jack Johnson, our pastor.